I was talking today to one of my clients who said that in the beginning, when we started working together, it was weird. It was awkward for him to share with other people that he had a coach. Not for very long, but in the beginning it was. And he shared that he thought that coaches were for people who are already successful, who who are just famous and they can afford a coach. And it's a narrative that I find uh, backward, backward. But he was able to uh, go against that norm, defy that norm, and change his own narrative, and hence hire me as his coach. He could have hired any other coach; it would have been just as great. But turns out, we crossed paths at the right time, and he didn't realize that hiring a business coach would be something that he would be able to do that was for him. It's interesting how we hear and how we understand in business the roles of coaches versus in other disciplines. In business, have you noticed that it's, especially in large organizations, it has evolved a bit, but very much the traditional narrative about hiring a coach in business is that we believe that people hire a coach because they're not good. Their performance is low. It's like, oh yeah, you're not doing so great, so let's hire some help to let's hire someone to help you. But in fact, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. The people who succeed because they accept, first of all, that they have blind spots, that there are things they don't see, and that they need that outside help for things like their limiting beliefs, for things like accountability, for things like creativity, new ideas, productivity, and so on. Now, in other disciplines, have you also noticed how coaching is much more accepted? Artists have coaches. Athletes have many coaches, not just one coach. But I talked to, I used to have a friend, and I talked to him about his former career in volleyball. And he used to tell me that in volleyball, he had 4 or 5 coaches at not even professional level, but semi-professional level. He had a coach for his technique. He had a coach for his physical health. He had a coach for strategy and so on. Has like 5 coaches. So it's so interesting to see that imbalance, and in a way that feels unfair. Why should we wait to be in to be struggling in business to think about hiring a coach versus in other disciplines? It's actually the norm. It's actually the norm. So that is a narrative that is strategic to change. That is a narrative that is strategic to reframe, to defy. If you are able to defy that narrative that is kind of normal but toxic in business, you will set yourself up for much greater success. Initially, I clearly used to have this narrative in mind. For many years, I thought I could do so many things myself that I didn't need any help, until I started to really struggle, and I started to, on the basis of some of my mentors, look into hiring a coach. And at first, I thought it was so expensive, and I didn't see the value. And thank God, I would say, thank God, I hired someone to help me. The value was so much more than what I had invested. So think about this narrative. If you feel like, you could use a little help. You could have, someone you could use as a sounding board, as an accountability partner, and you're hesitating because you believe that it's admitting that you're not as good as you should be. Well, maybe you should reframe your narrative about coaching. I hope this helps, and I look forward to hearing your comments, thoughts, and questions on this topic. Thank you.